Hey guys, welcome back. I am Stu, and today we're going to be playing European Extravaganza for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic Wacky Worlds expansion. You have been brought in to take over a European cultural visitor attraction and must increase the number of guests in order to pay back the EU subsidy by the end of the current European Parliament term. Your objective: to have at least 2,000 guests in your park at the end of October, year 4, with a park rating of at least 600. Okay, 2,000 guests in 4 years. Doesn't sound that tricky, I suppose. We've already got 600 guests, so we only need another 1,400 to go. We're charging for entry, so I usually put that up to about 40 to begin with, and then we can review it then. Let's have a look. What have we got? Let's see, we've got a couple of transport rides. We've got a few gentle rides. It's a good selection, to be honest. Decent selection of coasters to begin with. Again, decent selection of thrill rides, although these three, I would say they're probably all the same, except they've just got different skins. And no water rides, and tons of shops, toilets, kiosk, ATM. Good selection there. Okay, so let's turn scenery off. Right, okay, so I can see the boundary. What do we own? We own the purple, and what about building rights? None. Okay, so the immediate problem that I can see is going to arise is with the pathing. Now, if I bring down to here, so let's say the guests are over here, and I build a new ride here. The guests that are here are going to want to come over to here because it's a new ride and it's exciting. So they're going to try and come straight along here, and they won't be able to. So they're going to get lost and stuck. Same for over here. They're going to try and get over there. So rather than spending 4 years fighting fires, I'm just going to get rid of everything. There's plenty of rides in the park. So if I left them, I should easily get 1,000 with just what's here. But I'm going to get rid of them, and I'm going to build, looking at it, I'm going to build a nice path all the way up the middle, and then build my rides off at the sides. I think if we weren't charging for admission, I could use these spaces for coasters. So I could have the station here and then build out into the larger section. But because we're charging for admission, I'm going to want to keep the coasters fairly small and compact. So I'm going to crack on. I'll see you in a bit. Junior 1. So we've got rid of a lot of the rides. We've no entry signed a lot of the paths around the park in order to funnel the guests back to the start. So we've got an enterprise down and a load of shops. Started to do a little bit of theming as well. We've got tons of cash from selling the rides. I'm going to be deleting the paths and scenery as and when I need to expand into that area. I got rid of a lot of the staff because if you look at the handyman now, a lot of the handymen, they were set to mow the grass. So if you go into the hand there, and this shows all of their jobs. So if you tick the lawnmower icon, you can see it then on the main screen. That means any grass in their area, they will mow that. So rather than going through them and unticking them, I just decided to get rid of them all and start afresh. That way I'm not paying the wages of the handymen that I don't need. At the moment, I only need one handyman and one mechanic. So that's saving us a bit of cash. I've been researching thrill rides because we want to go cheap and cheerful. Oh, there you go. So I've obviously finished researching all the thrill rides. It's now gone into a roller coaster. So I'll put my research into roller coasters now then. Yeah, I'm just going to carry on building up the middle and just see how we go. October year 1, got our first coaster down. Pink Portuguese, decent excitement on that. Junior coaster, got some scenery down. I thought I'd have a focus on some scenery. I don't think the park goal is going to be that hard. I don't think 2,000 guests in 4 years is going to be that tricky. I mean, I know we've only got 100 guests, but I have spent a lot of time deleting things. So, yeah, I think we're going to do well. I've got my favorite 4x4 Parvin down here. I won't be able to do it all the way up, but where I can, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm just going to crack on and see how we go. October year 2, big expansion over the last year. So we've got a sim ride just down there. Maltese Motion. We've got a, what's this? Is this a limb coaster? Yep, Lithuanian launch. Decent stats on that. What have we got? We've got Danish Dodgems. Should be able to sense a theme by now. Up here, look at the colours. Swedish stand-up. Not bad stats considering it is the old style. Stand-up coaster. What have we got over here? We've got a Scottish spinner. Spinning Wild Mouse. Decent stats on that. And that's about as far as we've got so far. But I think the last year we've done really well. The first year. We spent so much time deleting. All we had was the Enterprise and the Junior coaster. So we've done really well over the last year, putting down a lot of scenery as well, even if it's just fences and things like that. I think it does help, does make it look nice, does stand out. Loads of shops, things like that. Money wise, doing well. 6, 7, 8,000 a month. So as long as we keep the rides fairly cheap and cheerful, we should always be in profit. So with this one, I've gone underground with the Cobra Roll and then got the Parvin over the Cobra Roll as well. So yeah, we're halfway through and we're almost halfway towards the guest goal. I think I might have a big push on flat rides, try and get the numbers up a bit, but other than that, I can't see us having too much of an issue. October year 3, it's raining, so we're benefiting from some umbrella sales. We've got Hellenic Haunted House, that's to do with Greece. Czech Circus, Croatian Cinema, Faroese Freefall. Faroe Islands are small archipelago up near Iceland. And we've got Italian Police Ride. I think that's the default name for it. Got a little bit of big scenery here, hoping to get some guests enjoying the scenery. You never know, might win some awards, and that'll help the guest goal. Just up here then, what have we got? We've got French Ferris wheel, German go-karts, again a little bit more scenery, and the Russian rat. Nothing offensive, meant simply alliteration. All the stats on it. Decent stats. Got a nice area here for a coaster. We've only got a couple of 100 guests to go. So I'm thinking I've gone fairly small on all the others. I might go for something a bit bigger this time, a bigger coaster, but one where we can have a lot of guests on the actual ride and a lot of guests in the queue as well. So I'm going to have a think, see what I can do, and hopefully that'll help us beat the guest goal. We've got another year to go. I still don't think we're going to have an issue with the guest target, but sometimes you can't be too careful. So I'm going to crack on. I'll see you next year. October year 4, we've got 2,100 guests in the park, so we've got over 100 guests more than what we need. So I've gone for this coaster here, Icelandic invert. So it's an inverted coaster. I've got 5 trains on it, which is a lot more than what I would normally run. Decent stats on it. So as I said before, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go for something where you can have a lot of guests on the actual ride and in the queue as well. So we've got a longer queue line than normal. And yeah, so I've added some brake runs and things like that, and I've added the chain lift in such a way that it soaks up a few extra trains as well. But yeah, it seems to have worked. We've got more than what we need. I think the first year is what held us back a bit, because we only had about 100 guests after the first year, after all of the existing guests left and we deleted everything. I've been focusing on putting some scenery down as well, try to win some awards, because that'll give you a bit of a boost on guests. So we got 2 awards at the moment. So let's have a look what we did. When we came in, there was, you can see from the areas on the side, there was all these areas full of, well, not full, but they had some rides in and some pathing and things like that. Really complicated pathing. Any guest going into them would have got lost, because as soon as you open a new ride, the guests are going to want to ride it. So it doesn't matter where they are in the park. They want to try and they're going to try and head to that new ride, and they're going to try and head in a straight line. And if they can't get there, they're going to get lost, and then you're going to spend ages then fighting fires trying to help guests get lost, and your rating's going to get trashed. And to be honest, I figured it'd be maybe not easier, because we've still, we have struggled. We've only got 100 guests more than what we needed, but I thought it would be more enjoyable to get rid of everything. That, because it's much more enjoyable to build from scratch than it is to have to deal with issues all the time. So what we did at the beginning, we just concentrated on some pathing and some shops. The first year, all I had down was the Enterprise, the Junior Coaster, and some scenery. And then what we did is we just expanded, just built up. So we got, that's a new, what's that? I have named that. That's a bit lax of me. We're gonna have to give her a name now. Let's give it, there you go, San Marino Slide. San Marino is a small nation whose borders are entirely inside Italy. Yeah, just building all the way up, building the paths and the shops and the scenery and the rides as I'm going up, putting some large scenery down, hoping the guests will stop and have a look at that and will like it. I think it's turned out quite nice. I don't usually put down this much scenery. I don't usually put down this much fences and things like that, but I think it helps it stand out, helps sort of define the different areas. I have quite enjoyed this, to be honest. I don't think I would have enjoyed it if we'd have been sorting out pathing issues all the way through. So I am glad I did it the way I did it. And don't worry, there will be some scenarios coming up where there will be existing rides and existing pathing. I will keep them on some, and on others I will get rid of them. But I think we'll have to just sort of weigh each one up as and when we come to it. What's my favourite ride? Let's have a look. I quite like the limb coaster. That's probably my favourite. And also the stand-up. There you go, and we've done it. Stew! Fantastic. There you go, that was European Extravaganza. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Any questions or feedback, drop them in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Bye!